Hey. Hello, everybody. How are you? Hey. How are you? I'm just playing here a little bit on my guitar. So, welcome to the first. Can you hear me? All right. So, welcome to the first ever webinar. Today is the first Learn Day here at Mix Training, and we're gonna talk about modeling. And the reason I have this guitar here is because we're gonna try to model something like this. We just turn the volume down, and I'm glad we have this guitar here because this is what we're gonna try to model. All right, so of course we're not gonna be able to model the whole thing in a few hours, on I guess 1 or 2 hours. They're gonna be streaming here, but we're gonna try start the modeling and do a few tricks and tell you a few things about Houdini modeling. And if you have any questions, please ask and I will answer your questions. So let me just pull this guitar over here and we just change my seat here. All right, no more guitar for today. We need to work, right? Just set the microphone here. All right, so if everyone's there in the chat, please let me know if the audio is it's looking okay. And if everything is okay, just let me know. Let me open the chat here. All right. Right, sounds good. All right, cool. All right, guys. So first, I'm gonna start showing you a project I've been doing for a tutorial, and this is some just regular modeling, no procedural thing or stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of combining procedural stuff, but not much. So it's this lamp here. So I'm making a tutorial on Redshift and I needed a scene and I saw a lamp similar to this and I said, well, I'm gonna model something like that. It will be nice to model in Houdini. Something that is just not procedural at all. It's just modeling like any other application. All right, so you can see I have just a wall, simple wall. Go away. Simple wall here. Then this is the main structure for the lamp. So let's see this. You can go inside here and you can see it's just a lamp. It's just a few pieces here. See, this is, let me change the far clipping, something smaller, even smaller than that. All right, so you can see I have this like a support here that it's where the rope comes out of, and then this is just poly modeling, no tricks, but it's pretty cool that you can use some of the new tools in Houdini, like the bridge tool. It's pretty cool. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy. And the new bevel tool is pretty cool, and the new preview for, well, it's not that new, but you can preview the stuff in subdivisions just by tapping plus here on the keyboard, which is pretty cool as well. And my computer is kind of slow because of streaming, I guess. It got better. All right, so and the again, it's just simple straight ahead just modeling. The rope, it's cool. It's just I wanted to create a rope that it was a little bit detailed, not so simple. So I started with a circle with 4 points, copied some lines into that. I don't see the lines. There we go. Where's the line? Where's the lines? Oh, there. There's the lines. So just copied on the, and then I just twist them, and then do poly wire on that, which is pretty simple. Then just bend them, which is, this bend tool is new. It's recent in Houdini, which is pretty cool. It has better displays here. You can clearly see what the bend is happening. It's it even has like feedback of where the actual bending will happen. It's pretty cool. It's more it's better than the old one. So for the people that are asking if this will be recorded, yes, this will be available right after it's done. I think just YouTube just archives this, so it will be available after. You can see it later. Alright, so you can see it's not that hard to do, but this could be just straight ahead modeling and not worry about it. But you could actually go and change stuff here if you need to. Close this. Like I don't know, the wire radius, if it's too high, if it's too low, you can still use that in Houdini to modify stuff like that. But for something like the lamp here, this is just I can't go and modify some stuff here because it will mess up everything here. Like this hole is just modeled like that. It won't change. If I start moving stuff over here, things will break. Like if I change the divisions here, yeah, everything goes to hell, right? Just like any other application. So I'm gonna focus more on that today, not modeling procedurally. Like Houdini, I know it's pretty good for doing procedural modeling as well. But today we're just gonna concentrate on just modeling. No fancy stuff. Well, maybe a few things, fancy stuff. But the new modeling tools in Houdini are very nice. Like the poly extrude, the poly bevel, and the bend, and the poly what's that? Sorry, the poly bridge. The bridge is pretty cool as well. So alright. Let's try to model a guitar. So, and for that, we're gonna need reference. And sadly, I didn't download the reference before. But we can do it pretty quickly. Let's find some reference. For that guitar, this is the Racer Time 7. There's not much guitars like this one. So there we go. So first I'm gonna create a project here. If you guys are not using projects in Houdini, you should use them. They're pretty cool. And if you use Maya before, it's similar to what Maya does with projects. So let's create a new project. I'm gonna put it in my training folder. No new folder. I'm gonna call it this modeling webinar. And I don't want any extra folders here. And I just create an extra folder there for no reason. Alright, new scene, discard that, and I'm gonna save my reference there. So just give me a second, I'm saving that. I'm pretty sure it was there. Where is it? Ah, modeling webinar. There we go. Alright, so I got the image here. Let's load it into Houdini. I like to use this for reference here. Image network. Just load the image in my project. Put it on textures. It's not a sequence. So there we go. This is the guitar. This is the exact same guitar I was playing right now. You can notice this is a 7 string if you know about guitars. this is a pretty rare guitar. It's not common to have this model of guitar in a 7-string version. So, well, sorry. We can start by modeling the main shapes and stuff. And it's pretty cool that I have the actual guitar, because I could just, if I don't know something, there's not expressed in the photograph, I can just go and say, oh, how does it look? How is this the actual guitar? And you can just grab the guitar and see it, and it's pretty cool. So let's, there's a few ways we can add a reference plane into Houdini. You can add, I have a tool that creates, let me see if I have it here. I have a tool that creates an image grid. I mean, creates a plane from an image. So maybe later we can do a webinar on scripting, and we can recreate this tool. It's pretty cool because I just selected the image and just creates everything I need, the right size, the right dimensions. It takes the actual dimensions from the image, applies the texture, creates a material here, which is actually my own material as well, that it's written in Bex, which can be another tutorial later. Let me, all right. And this is a way you can use background images in Houdini, like image planes are called in other applications like Maya. For your reference, you can use this way. This is just, again, it's just an image. We can rename this to image plane or reference and move it around and just put it wherever you want. The other way is, let me hide this. Let's say that this is, I want to put this is the what? This is the top. So space 2, go to the top view, press D, or the this button here. Oh, this is for showing the options. You have to press D. Oh, it's here. This button here. I never use the button. I always press D. So you can actually set an image plane here for the top, and just select that guitar there. You can see it's an image plane. It's in there. You can change the size here. You can see if I scale, if I zoom in the viewport, it's not moving, it's just static there, so it's not actually useful for modeling here. So just disable this auto place, and now it will move with the viewport, which is exactly what you want here. And once you have that there, you can maybe hide the grid if it's just, you can actually make it bigger or smaller with these parameters. Sadly, you can make them both at the same time, change them both, like middle clicking here, like here. So that's unfortunate. You have to just type the numbers here or scroll one at a time. You can actually link this either, so, but you can drag and drop the values. So let's say how big this guitar will be in actual reality. We could measure it. It's here. We can have a tape measure. Hold on a second. Where's my... Where is... was pretty sure it was here. It is here. Excuse me. So I have it here. I'm gonna measure it. Is 120. All right, so the guitar, it's 1 meter and 20 centimeters long. So I'm gonna create a box for that. So it's gonna be scale, and the scale by default in Houdini works in meters. So if we want to make this similar to what Houdini, or similar to real world units, one box is 1 meter. So the only thing I need is 20 centimeters here in the X direction, 1.2. That will be the scale of my guitar. Oh, and that actually is pretty close to real life there. So but it's not. So we can maybe make this longer because the shape it's pretty weird. It's an oddly shaped guitar for sure. So let me just put that there, and we can now scale the guitar. Let me scale it in X. Scale the guitar to fit the bounding box there. And that'll be about that. Just copy this value here. There we go. So now we have it on scale, right? But we don't see it here when we go to perspective. We don't see that reference image, which again depends on what you want to do. Why I keep getting this thing if I just close that? All right. As you don't see it here, but you can also add it in the perspective view if you want. Let's see, where is it? It's here, but it's not in the right direction. You can see it's pointing in this direction, which doesn't work for us, right? So it just depends on what you need and what will work for you. We could actually use the image plane that we have here. That might be the best option for this. So let me just move it like this, so it's pointing up. Put it in the center. Now I have to scale it down because this square was the reference we had, and I'm just gonna delete the top reference because I'm not gonna use that. So sometimes I use the reference images. Sometimes, I mean the what is this called here in Houdini? Like the back plate is, I think it's called. I can see in the camera how it's called. Camera background image. That's what it's called here. So we can scale this down to the size that we are going to work here. But again, it's gonna be a little bit tricky because if I go to wireframe, I'm not gonna see the texture. So some things you just have to figure out by hand. Let's see, that's about there. All right, that's at the right size. So I'm gonna hide my scale. What I do for this, if I want to be modeling and see the image, now you can see the other image there. So I'm gonna remove it as well. What I do is just lower the transparency here. Like if I'm gonna be modeling the top view, I'll just lower the opacity on this guy. Lower the opacity and put it up, so it's on top of whatever. Let's see the scale image there. I can put it up. If I'm gonna model in the top view, you can see I can see the reference, and I can see the and I can just lock this so it's not selectable here. If you remove this checkbox here, it will not be selectable in the viewport. So you're not gonna be able to select it once that's off, but leave this on, and that's it. That's the that's your reference there. You can model from this view, and you are just looking through the model, which is good. All right, so now that I have this reference, let's start modeling something. And I can start modeling something not that hard because this guitar will take a while to do. So let's do a geo node. It's gonna be called guitar, and save your scene because it's important to save. Racer guitar modeling version 1. All right, so let's go inside this guy. Let's hide this. So I can go here and set show ghost other objects and remove this guy. Ghost is not good. I'm gonna have to use show all objects. Now I can get here, and I'm gonna start modeling this neck here. So I need a cube here. So let's put a box. I'm gonna create it here, box. Start making it smaller, of course. Making it, I could just show the handles and start scaling it here like this, getting it in position, getting the rough shape. And you can see this is pretty cool, pretty fast to just get the rough shape there. If I go to the perspective view, I can actually add maybe another copy of this image plane down here, so I can just see it along my guitar, my modeling guitar there. So let's put this to 0. So that will help me when I'm in perspective view here. Let's go inside the guitar again, and the height is pretty high. We could take measurements here. Let's see how again the near, it's pretty big for this, and see how thick this piece of wood is. So the neck, it's built by 2 pieces. One is the fretboard, which is on top, and then there's another piece of wood that it's the main neck of the guitar there. So go to top view again. Now we just select points here, or just press 2. Once you are in select mode, I always press S for select mode, and then number 2 for points. Or once you are in select mode, you have the all your selection tools here. So it's pretty quick to just select edges, select faces. There's also a multi-select, I think. So let's see. That's kind of new. And I think there is a multi-select. I'm pretty sure there is. Let's see. It should be around here. I don't know. Multi-select. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I saw there. I saw something elsewhere, but I don't know. It's 2. Alright, well, let's select the points, scale the points, just by pressing select the points, drag E to scale them in this direction to get them where we need. And you can see the reference is not exactly accurate, but James Austin says press shift to, let me say, unselect. I don't get a menu when I select. Pretty sure there is a multi-select. Alright, well, I'll figure it out. I don't use it much, but it should be there. I'm gonna move this a little bit in C to center it, but no, I'm not gonna move it. Alright, so that seems about right. That seems, is that in the right place? It is. Alright, that's gonna be the end. As always with reference images taken with photographs, there's gonna be a little bit of error. Component selection. Now I'm intrigued. I think I knew I saw that. No. Alright, so that's the first part of that. Now the neck, if I look at the guitar right here, it's gonna be rounded at the bottom. It's gonna be rounded like this. So let's go inside this. We could just extrude this, but I want to have this as two pieces, just as the real guitar. It's two pieces, although they are actually completely glued. So all right, so let's extrude this. Just select the face there. I'm gonna extrude with tab PX. I just type PX for poly extrude. Maybe PX works. Wrong. PX. No. PEX works. I just do PX and just brings the extrude tool. I'm gonna give it a little bit of thickness there, and it's gonna show the wireframe. And you can show the wireframe in Houdini just by pressing Shift W anytime. If you are in any mode like the flat shaded, you don't have the wireframe, Shift W will show and hide the wireframe. And it's staying flat there. So I'm gonna have to make this yeah, because it has a round edge here. I could do a few things, maybe extrude a circle and not have to do this. That might be a way to do this thing. You could also just do this, and maybe even instead of doing that, maybe just do an insert in the extrude and give it divisions and make it curved. And there's a spline control for that, I think. I don't use this much. Most of the time I just do it by hand because it's just modeling. No twisting. Nope. Alright, it's this one. No, this is thickness. I don't want to do that. Alright, so the extrusion. Yeah. I know you can do this, but again, I don't use it as much. So what I just do is you could just double click to select that loop and just scale it out like this, and then increase the soft radius here. That will actually also give you a roundness there. You can see that's too much. That's the wrong handle, and something like that. That will take a lot of time, and I have too much divisions here, so I'm just gonna do it with one division, and I think I'm gonna go for a circle. Let me think. Now let's do the poly. Let's type edge, and I always use edge to insert an edge loop. And the edge loop is pretty cool because you can see where the edge is gonna be there, in this direction or this direction. But you can also right click and snap it to several points. So for example, the midpoint, if I want to put it in the center, you can see there's a point there. If you want to have more divisions in this edge, or whatever edge you are trying to put the division in, you can go here to the snap to edge divisions, and then this option here says defines how many divisions you're gonna have. Like I'm gonna have 6 divisions here. If I want to put it closer, you want to put it to the center. Right now I'm just gonna put it in the center, so put it there, and I know that's exactly in the middle. So this is just straight modeling. Just scale this guy out, and we're gonna start rounding this, and you can just press plus in the numeric keyboard. and you get the subdivision version of this. For some reason, the first time you press it, it takes a little bit. Maybe just caches on memory the subdivision surface. But as you know, if you model in, the other thing about having this image planes like this here, you can just press Shift Y to hide other objects, or just see this object and you just lose the other objects pretty quickly. So alright, so this another cool thing, yeah, cool things keep popping up here, which is pretty amazing. Another thing, I'm just gonna go to totally flat here. Another thing is that snapping in Houdini is pretty cool. So like, I know some people just love how snapping points in other applications. You can snap points to other points just by moving an axis, and that is possible in Houdini. Right now I'm aligned to the object there. If I press M, now I'm aligned to the selected geometry. I'm aligned to the world there, viewport, component. Yeah, that was object, world. So I'm on world, and I want to snap these points to this point here. So I just grab this guy, the X direction, press the B or the V key, and then you can see it. This is toggling there, but nothing happens when I try to snap it. What I need to do is I will need to drag my mouse to the point I want to snap it to. So there we go. That's completely snapped there. Now I can use this same technique for this edge. Press B, snap to this edge, and there we go. Those edges are perfectly snapped. That's pretty cool. So this is getting. Let's snap the objects the same way here. Snap it to this vertex. It's getting very weird here. Let's see if I just turn it on. I turn that off. There. That is not snapped. Let's try it again. T for transform. And snap it to vertices. There we go. Snap it to vertices. There we go. Alright, so the next looking good. But as you know, we need more divisions to kind of visualize it in subdivision version. So let's go to edge loop again. Put a loop here in the very edge. So hold that shape. Put another one in the other. Just press Q to repeat. Put another one here. Now if I press plus, you can see the subdivision surface is starting to look like something more useful. But we still need some more edges here. Maybe one here. And we're gonna need in this direction as well to hold that edge. Another one here. Hold that edge. I press plus. You can see that it's starting to look pretty cool. And there is our roundness there. The neck, it's different from this area than from this area, but we'll detail it later. So let's not show the wireframe, and it's looking good. If I go up, you can see your subdivision surface there. No, that's not the subdivision surface, is it? Yes, it is. Oh yeah, I'm seeing these guys as well. Let's see it on shaded because we are just on flat. So there we go. It's starting to look like a neck of a guitar. But let's try doing the main shape. Let's go for the main shape now. So we can do several things here. We can just collapse this if we don't want to see all those operations to kind of freeze it, but let's keep them around. Show the reference. And this shape's pretty weird and wild, so we could do a few things. Maybe draw it with a polygon curve here, and then extrude it, and then start modifying that. You can start with a main shape and extrude these spikes out of it. But I guess I'm gonna just create a curve. Go for the curve method and start drawing this profile. Let's see, I'm in polygons. Yes, I'm gonna start drawing the polygons. And this is a straight up to here. Another polygon there, straight here. It curves here. This is straight all the way here. Now, really straight in these areas. So let's try adding more detail here. Alright, so as you can see, this is just straight ahead modeling, no fancy tricks in Houdini, no math, no science degree, nothing. It's just straight modeling. I just put that point where it doesn't it's not supposed to be. I Control C to remove it and keep on drawing the shape. Drawing the shape. Alright, I'm almost done. This is a little bit more curved. And it's closed, so I'm just gonna hit the close there and we have the main shape. There we go. That was simple, but it's not gonna be that simple to actually make it. Oh crap, I pressed shift and I moved the points of the plane, but it's no problem. I can just grab them all. Just grab all the points, press E, scale them down in Y to 0. Hey, what happened here? There we go. So now that makes the points all flat. Oh, what happened here? That's weird. Oh, I was in subdivision, so that was a mess. So now we need to extrude this. Let's move it down. Our guitar, it's on 0. Let's put it down a little bit. Select that face, S4, select the face. Now PEX to extrude and extrude it. I don't like to extrude in the negative direction as much because sometimes that causes the normals to flip and all kinds of issues. So let me just scale it down, doesn't matter. Just see the thickness. That's about the right thickness. Again, we could be measuring this and putting the right amounts there, but we are doing this live. I'll put the back to show the back of the guitar there. Let me just hide everything else. See, we're getting, that's looking pretty cool. This will actually be a pretty cool model. Alright, the guitar has like a bevel, a really nice bevel all around the front of the guitar. So let's try and do that. Let's see how that works. So now press S3 to edge select, double click on an edge. Again, one of those little tools there are now in Houdini, like double clicking an edge just selects the whole loop, which is pretty useful for modelers. So let's PB almost give me polybevel. I can type POB, no, PBO, PVE, sorry, PVE. That's poly bevel. Now I have those edges ready for bevel. I can set the distance here. Any distance too much. Let's put it to. Why is it moving it down? All right. Fixed width. Let's try round. This is behaving weird. All right, there we go. Use a common limit because I guess the normals are all weird. Just they are a mess right now. So we have that. We don't want it to be round. We want it to be. It's not round in the guitar. Well, it's mostly flat. So, of course, the edges at the end are flat a little bit. So, but let's do it this. Just a common limit. Oh yeah, I think this new bevel is trying to not cross edges, which it's good. So it's trying to not cross over edges, and it's trying to do that. So let me just do it like this. The other thing we can do here, instead of doing this bevel, this kind of bevel, because we can try different options here. We have a bunch of options for beveling now. Fixed distance, fixed width. See, it's saying here that it's merging some vertices, which is pretty cool. But what I'm gonna do is just, all right, say that bevel works for me. Fixed distance. How was it before? And what I can do is just start modeling that edge by hand, actually. Let me just see the guitar. See, it has this bevel edge here. You can see it here. It's the edge there. Let's go to points. I'm on this guy. Yes, select points. Why can't I select that point? Start moving around the points. This bevel is pretty good actually, because now this is a huge difference of bevel there. But I can just try to do it like this. Of course, we'll need more tweaking later, but we'll get the basic shape first. This is a bevel that's pretty close here. Let me see why I can't select here. Maybe I have. All right, seems like I can select now. Nope. Weird. Why? Maybe I have this. Select visible only. Not sure. Not sure what this is not letting me select. Yeah, it is the. Oh, alright. I'm selecting through this guy, so I can't select there. So, just do that. That image plane is just getting in the way there. But, nature of the beast, right? Alright, this point needs to be over here. And this edge, it's a little bit exaggerated here. The guitar itself, it's exaggerated on this feature, so just grab all these 3 points there, move it here. You can see the bevel goes here, so we might need another division here to give it that bevel there. So I'll add another division at a later time. this area as well. The bevel goes through here, but you can see this is just straight on modeling, no weird tricks. Again, no math to use Houdini, just modeling. If you know how to model, you can model in Houdini. Now that Houdini has these versions like the indie version, which is pretty inexpensive for everybody, just it's pretty cool to have a pretty professional tool for so little money. So there's another bevel here. It's pretty exaggerated on this part, so we need to move the points here. This bevel is pretty exaggerated, so the bevel tool, which is it's having huge problem getting to these areas. All right, seems like we got it. And oh, that thing is on top of my guitar. That's why I couldn't select. Put it down. Move this down. You. All right, you can see that's starting to look pretty cool, like the guitar I have here. Of course, it needs more edges and stuff. The back, in the back, it's just rounded, so we could just do the same thing we were doing, just rounding the back. Press, select the bottom edges. Poly bevel, and just bevel that a little bit because it is just a little bit, and this is rounded. So let's put 2 divisions there for roundness, because this might be subdivided later, so don't give it so much stuff, so much detail right away. Now we have 2 parts here that if I go out, it's like, this is one of the things that people that are new to Houdini get confused by. So there I am in the main level, and I just have 1 piece, but I just modeled 2 pieces. Where's my other piece? And your other piece is inside here as well, but it's this branch here. Oh, so all right, I have that branch. Now I go out, and where's my other piece? Well, what you need to do is merge these 2 guys. Merge, just put a merge, put these 2 guys here, and display this node. And now you have your 2 pieces. Now you can see these pieces way under, so let's just select this node. I want to keep editing this area, but I want to see the result of both. So I have the display here, but I'm selecting this, not clicking this, just the node, and S2 to select the no, I don't want to do that. S2, select, double click on one of the vertices of, or S4, double click on one of the edges to select everything. Let's go for S2, 1 click, selects, double click, selects the whole geometry. Press T to edit. You can see I'm editing while I see the result of both. And I know that the fretboard goes on top of the, I lost my selection. Why did I lose my selection? Did I lose my selection? Hello. Get away, edit. I'm messing my vibe here. T. Translate. And move it up. Should be there. All right. That's what should be that. And we have 2 pieces of the guitar already done. Excuse me, that's a real mosquito there. So now let's model the headstock. Let's see the headstock. It's pretty rad as well. And we can go in another direction here, maybe. Let's see, let's examine the headstock. So we can make a cube, then extrude or divide it and move some edges here, or we can go with the same technique we did for the body, but let's go for the cube. Also, you don't have to model everything in this one object. You can have different objects outside here, but I just like to keep them together. So let's create a box. Again, it's called box, not cube in Houdini. Let's see that. It's pretty big. Show the handles by pressing here. Let me show all objects to see that clearer. And it's a little bit off center, but it's okay. We can, maybe we don't want to move it off center because that'll mess up later. But all right, press shift. If you press shift while you are moving these edges, you will just mirror the whatever you're doing, the move, like this. If you don't, just modifying that one. All right, we can go from out here and carve that edge, or we can go from here and extrude that edge. I'm just gonna go here like that, and let me just make it as wide as that union there of the on the other part of the guitar there. Now let's go to perspective because it's gonna be too thick. This part is not as it's a little bit thicker than the fretboard, so let's just go there. Also, like, this is another thing that you might encounter, like, all right, I'd merge my objects here, but where are my objects when I'm modeling here? If you want to see your objects, you can press this template tag here and you can see your objects there. Did I do the edit here? I don't want the edit there, I want it here. And you can see in Houdini, it's like I edit this object over here, but I wanted to edit it over here because I wanted to edit before I merge. I can just move it over here, but just shake it, insert it there. It works the same way because I just moved the points on the body of the guitar. All right, so templating this, you can see it as a template there. Like, that could be enough for you. And I know that this is way too thick now. It should be aligned with the neck, not too thick, kind of like that. Maybe even put it all the way. Actually, the neck should be longer, so we need to fix that. But these two guys are gonna join later. If you want to see this solid, you can just control click here on the template and you can see both objects as solid objects. All right, so let's go back to top and let's just move these points, scale them to get the rough shape of the headstock. You know, this is moved, but you can just take one edge as the reference and the other side should match because this should be pretty much a mirror. So I don't want to see this, so just hide that. And now edge loops. Edge loop. An edge loop here. What? Oh, again. Just hide that. It's on top of me, so I can't use it like that. One edge loop to get this shape here. Another edge loop to get this curve here. So let's press Q. Q. Oh, Q was extrude. Translate. Scale. Sorry. All right. Select these points, scale them down to get that general shape there. Move these guys back. Another thing I love about Houdini is that you don't actually have to select the handles. This is also newish, a newish feature. If you just wanna move on X, you can just drag on that direction. Middle drag, press middle and just drag in that direction. You're moving in that. You're gonna move in C here, just middle and move up, and you are moving that. That's pretty useful when you're like maybe aligning something here and I want to move it up. Like instead of just going all the way here, I could just move it, which is pretty cool. I use it a lot when I'm using my Wacom tablet because it's pretty much more intuitive to just use the pen to do those moves. Alright, so we need another edge loop at the center. And since I want it in the dead center, I have that edge meet point activated. Put it there. And we'll need maybe 2 more. Now, I'm gonna go with this one. And we can just divide these areas for more detail. Like do that, and we can add a division here, or let's add an edge loop. Let's try with an edge loop. Nobody will die. Do another one here. Let's see, let's make this section and we can mirror it, which is another tool that you should always have in modeling, mirroring. So you can see this is pretty simple. If you didn't know this is Houdini, you could just be modeling with any application here. Same kind of tools. Alright, we can do 2 things here. Maybe divide it in this direction. Edge loop. That image plane, it's bothering me. Let's put the one at the bottom. So that image plane on top, it's not letting me select stuff, which gets on my nerves. But this one I can't see it. So let's do the old trick of creating a material with transparency. That's an old trick, but it works. It's called this modeling. I've used this trick a lot. We can even give it a color to make it more interesting, like bluish, and assign it to that guy there, and go to the opacity tab, make it lower. I can't see it here actually. Maybe because it's black. No, it's not working. Let's go to the OpenGL, and the OpenGL transparency, it's not showing. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. No problem, Alan Cran. Thank you for watching, dude. Let's go to the effects. The transparency is in low quality. You can see now that it's in medium. We can see that. So I don't know why this setting was in low quality, but now we can see the guitar there, the reference through the model. And we can also maybe disable the specular to see it better, so it doesn't mess with the reference. Now we can just make this surface opacity maybe even lower. Now we have a material that we can use for modeling. Now I want actually to do, let me just add it right now. An edge on this direction will help me to break this continuum thing. I could do something else. Another amazing tool for any model is the knife tool. You can just put the knife and knife a direction. Where's my mouse? Where's my knife? Knife. Drag a line. We can just drag a line and we have a knife. The cool thing is that this is Houdini, so now we can actually move it. We can move the knife anywhere we want. We can rotate it. We can do whatever we want here. So there we go. Now let's move this guy over here. I'm snapping 2 points. No one need to snap out 2 pointos. All right, so that's getting good. Again, in other apps, you can just have be modeling one section and be seeing the other section. So why not here? Let's delete all these faces because that's what I want to mirror. So now let's mirror. Let's see. Just occurred to me that maybe if you select it before you mirror it, it will put it in the right place, but no, it's mirroring on this direction by default. I want to mirror in the C direction. There we go. And the center, it's wrong. The origin, let's just move it down. We can move it here without looking at that handle. And we put it close enough, we can close the gap. And if the gap doesn't close, like let's say we have it like that, we can move this to close the gap there. Let's see. There you go, the gap is closed. And now I'm gonna put this guy down here. So I wanna do operations before I reach the mirror. Just move my microphone a little bit. All right. So that's another tool that you always want to have when you're modeling, the mirror tool. And you can see now that if I move this, again, did the wrong thing. I want to edit before the mirror. So I want to see the mirror, but I want to select this. So my tools getting insert here. And you can see now the mirror is working pretty cool. So this, I need another edge here because this is curved. So let's put another edge loop. And S2 to select that point, move it around, and it's working in the other side as well. So that's pretty cool. Don't put it too close because it merges. We put this too high. So let's lower it a little bit. It's too high. Just enough to merge those points, but you can see if you go close, it will merge your points. So if that's something you want, you can have that option there. All right, so to hold this edge here, we're gonna need more edge loops, of course. So the edge loop is now working in this direction because we have a known quad here. So let's divide this to make it a quad. Or maybe just do it here. Or we can just bevel it, which is another option that people do. Double clicking on the edge. So again, double clicking, it's amazing. Poly bevel. We can just bevel that to give it, it's very sensitive. So give it 2 edges there. So we can just have that hold. And there, this is pretty cool. Oh, what did I do with my modeling? All right, let's move these points down. With points should be in the same plane as this, so it will be pretty simple to just move them. Snap them to this point. There we go. Snap that to that point. And snap that to this point. All right, so I didn't select the whole thing, so I can just delete that. This is a good thing in Houdini, like we are in a procedural environment. So this shape is pretty weird. Why is that weird? I don't know. Could just do it again, maybe. This mirror is looking weird. I don't know why. Maybe because it has a group setting here. That was my mistake because I selected the geometry before creating the mirror. So I shouldn't be doing that. That was my mistake. So now I created this. Let's go to shaded. There is this really nice shaded view or flat shaded view. I did the wrong thing in the bevel here, right? But after that I did some editing here. So my edits are good, but I want to just redo this because this is wrong. So what should I do? Should I just undo and lose all my changes? Well, no. I could actually just maybe look this as an undo stack and say, well, I did the bevel here and then I did the edit. You can see if I go back here, this is wrong. That point is wrong. And then I did this bevel. Then I moved those. So if I just delete this poly bevel there, I'll keep my edit and then I'll do that after I did the fixing of those points, which is pretty cool. I rarely use undo on Houdini. I rarely use it. So S3, so it's not selecting all the way here. When I double click, it didn't select all the way down. That was why. And another thing, I could actually just modify that and maybe that should work, but sometimes it's just not good to try to be clever and just model. So there we go. We need that, but let's see what happened with the bevel. All right. So what I did is I did this bevel, but this edge changed. What if I want to keep that edge, but just add those two edges, just like if I did this by hand? Well, you can create another. You can, use another of these options. You just select this to solid. It won't move that edge. You can see it's just adding two. And this is pretty useful when you're adding edges for subdivisions, which is pretty amazing. All right, so the headstock is not flat. So let's select all of these guys here. S2, select all those points there. And let's see, it's all the way from, I'm looking over there for the guitar, if you're wondering why I'm looking at that. So from here, it starts to bend down. So I could just do this, but it's wrong, right? But the way you should do this is just rotate it. But if I do this, that's wrong, because I will have to just move it and then rotate it again. So as in other applications, you can move the center of this rotation. You will need to have it here, right? That will be the perfect position for that. Well, here's the pivot options for that. And I lost my selection. Sorry. Let me grab my selection again. R for rotate. And you can just say, I want to rotate this in this. I'm going to move it back in X because that's not the pivot I want. Come on, are you not going to move? Why? Should I be? Oh, all right. This is just not doing it for me. Why are you doing that? Should be able to move it. So now I'm looking like a jackass, right? That's weird. I've done this before. Yeah. Yeah, sure. Now I look pretty stupid here. So now I'm gonna have to do what I said you shouldn't be doing. Use the orient attribute? I don't know. Alright, well, I don't know everything, of course. And that is, I think, too much. Let's see the other pieces that are way up here. Activate that. Now it looks about right. Let's just move it a little bit more down. But you should be able to do that. Maybe I don't know how to do it. Maybe it's something that it's broken. Maybe I don't know. But you should be able to do that. Maybe I just forgot how. Alright, and this, I think it's too flat. I mean not too flat. It's too skinny. I forgot some words sometimes. I'm not okay, so this, it's a good opportunity. Okay, so I did the bevel wrong again. So this, maybe this is because of the no, it worked here. I did the bevel wrong again. And I modified this again. But I want to fix my bevel. Well, maybe if I go to my bevel back here, you can see the bevel is working on a certain amount of edges here, If I go to this tool here, and I can see that this tool, this edge should be selected. For some reason it's not. I can press, if I go to this tool here, the handle tool, if I press tilde, the tilde key, you can see this is not selected. What's happening here is that this tool is giving me the option to reselect points or change the selection that I had here. But I don't think it's gonna work. So I'm just gonna shift select that, press enter, and now the bevel is, it's how it's supposed to be. I think the edit on next to it is gonna be broken. Yes, this point it's broken, but most of it worked. Just one point it's broken. Is it? Yeah, seems like that only that point is broken, which gives me another opportunity to show something else. Edge sliding, which is a really useful modeling tool. Let's select that point and press T to translate. We could try to use the handle to try to align it, but it's not totally aligned. But there is here an option that says slide on surface. Activate that, and now that would totally slide on the surface, and you can fix that point there. It's not totally fixed, and you can see I can move it up and down until I remove that option. So if I add another, like let's say that I just want to move these points over here but don't disturb the surface, I can just slide on surface, move those points, they're gonna stay perfectly on the surface, which is pretty cool. Alright, this, now I want to make this a little bit thicker, so let's select those faces. Alright, another opportunity. We can just set select only visible. If I do this, it's just gonna select the ones on the back, but this one's kind of visible, I guess. The other tool is laser select, so if I just use control and drag, I'm just selecting everything I touch, which is pretty cool to select a bunch of faces pretty quick. There's another one which is brush select, so you can paint whenever you want to select. You can see it's like a brush. It's very similar to this one, but this is like a brush. So it's very different, few different ways. There's also a lasso to select geometry. So in my case, I just want to select those points and make them a little bit, pull them a little bit down. Be careful because I'm on a slide on surface right now, and I don't want to do that. Actually, I don't want to move them in that direction. I want to move them, and I lost my selection. I want to move them in world space, just down a little bit. And I'm missing a face there. Why am I missing a face? No, I need to select them again. Things you have to deal with any application. Don't want to slide on the surface. Move them a little bit down. There we go. I think that's thick enough. Yes. All right. So let's start doing some holes because that is something important. Let's just mirror that. And these edges are solid here. It's not two edges there. So this mirror is a little bit off. So let's move it a little bit closer. There we go. That seems like the same distance here. And now you can see if I subdivide that geometry, you can see this is welded at the center completely. But it looks pretty bad. So let's add some edges. Edge loop. Now I'm gonna be adding after the mirror because I'm done with the mirror. So I just need to add some edges to keep the shape. In the sides, that's the edge. Q to repeat. Add it very close. This is curved, so I'm not gonna add an edge there. I need an edge over here. Let's see if this works. No, it's not gonna work because this is totally messed up. I have a triangle here. I have an end gun here, so it's not gonna work. So I could, of course, do a polysplit. So polysplit is another tool that you need to know. Polysplit will just let you split your object like this. Just telling Houdini where you want your edges and it will split it like that. In my case, I have to do this because I have triangles and end guns and the edge loop tool is not working. And this happens in every software. It's not exclusive to Houdini. So it's pretty quick to just do this. No issues. Again, just same old modeling tools. Let's see how this looks in subdivisions. Don't tell me you're gonna crash because I haven't saved at all. Please don't crash. Oh, thank you. Save. Let's subdivide that. And it looks pretty weird here. I don't know why it looks like that. Let's see. Let's go up. Hide this guy. Deselect everything. Go to smooth shaded. Yeah, actually the alright, so we are seeing the material there. If we don't want to see the material, we just toggle this on and off. Alright, that's starting to look cool. Of course it needs detail here to add that to have that edge there, but it's starting to look okay. It looks fine. For the first pass, of course, it needs more detail. Yeah, the toggling between subdivision surface needs work, I think. Don't kill me, side effects. Alright, another thing you can do if you don't want to toggle this, there's a subdivide sub here. If you just want to see that here, you can just use that and say, alright, that's gonna be how it looks subdivided, and you can actually keep it there while you are working. You can see that and work here like the old subdivision way. But I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is show you how to do holes. That is pretty important, and we need holes here to for the Those are called, I forgot about those. Those are called string locks. No. Oh man, I'm bad. I don't know guitars. All right, so let's see. I need 3. Well, I have the guitar here as well, right? Hi, BFX Ltd. So let's see the reference here. We need to see textures. Where are my textures? Why I can't see them? Hello. What happened to the textures? See textures? Yes, I do want to see textures, and Houdini doesn't want to show me the texture now. There we go. Needed to refresh that. Alright, so we need 2 holes. I mean 3 holes here and 4 here. So let's start dividing this. Let me remove that one on the top. And let me show the wireframe. So 1 hole is here, 1 hole is here, 1 hole is here. So I'm gonna move these points. I'm gonna go back to box selection, move those points down. And I just selected the ones visible, which is something that I don't want right now. Move this down, and is to move these guys up so I have space to have those holes there. Now I'm gonna subdivide this with loops, each loop, 3 loops, and I don't have again a way to subdivide this because the edge here we still have an end gun here. We could resolve the end gun. Let's remove the materials. Let's go to this shading. I like this one. Let's resolve this end gun because it's not letting me poly split again. I'm just gonna split from this point to this point. Of course, I'm gonna have a triangle here, but we can worry about that later and fix it here as well. Again, this is not going to be an organic model, so maybe some triangles are not okay. Some triangles are okay, but I know we are always like, oh, we need all quads and stuff, so maybe I would go and just divide this here to put it all back into quads later. Or maybe right now we can just do this and do this. Poly split again from here to there and repeat from here to there. And here the same thing from here to there and from here to there. S3 to select edges, S3 select the edge, kill it, kill that edge, kill that edge, and kill this edge. We're back to quads and we got rid of that end gun. Now we can do an edge loop here. So let's do a few edge loops here to do these holes. And I'm just gonna tell you that after these holes, I'm gonna be finished with the demonstration. But so if you have questions, please go ahead and ask, and I can respond to your questions when you ask them. If you have them, let's go to smooth shaded, show my reference, and edge loop. Let's put one here, and let's put one here. I'm doing this because in this side I have 4 and this side we have 3. So this is one problem with the 7-string guitar, but if you're doing a 6-string guitar, this will be just a mirror. So this is not a mirror, so we can just ignore this area on this side, compensate it. Alright, so now let's do those holes, and those holes are gonna be pretty cool. And let's see, how much edges do we have there? Let me hide the reference. We have 4, and let me see. I would love to have an edge loop here, which again is gonna give me troubles here, but I'm gonna say it's okay for now. I have 6, which is cool. So let's go and select these 2 guys here and do a poly extrude. Poly extrude. Now I'm gonna insert this. Insert it slowly. It's pretty sensitive. Insert here. Now those points, I'm gonna select those. I'm gonna select the faces. The 2 faces. Do I have a face selected there? I don't want that. Now I'm gonna press T to transform, but I'm just gonna convert this to a circle. You can see if I right click, there's a make circle option, or I can just press Shift C, and that makes a circle. Pretty useful, amazing stuff for modelers, of course. So F4, and I actually, let's do this. Let's go back to the poly extrude, and I'm not just extruded these 2 edges, right? These 2 faces. Well, do that. Let's do that trick again. Let's do tilde key, select these 2 guys as well, press enter, and voila, I did all those edges. Let's see if the edit works. The edit just selecting those 2 boys, but maybe we can do the same trick. Let's do select these 2 faces and these 2 faces and enter, and it didn't work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Did that one? I think this. No, you can't do that with the edit, but you saw that with the poly extrude worked pretty cool. So if I just have those guys selected, Shift C, circle. So now I'm gonna select those 2 faces. What did I do there? Select those 2 faces, those 2 faces. Let's select hidden. Now I'm gonna do a poly bridge, of course, poly bridge. And all right, so this gets me all the time. The poly bridge it's weird. It should work like this. So side effects, if you're seeing this, it should work like this. It should just select these edges, and if you have the edges the faces selected, just bridge them. Don't ask me to select something else. But it wants you to select 2 faces first. Wants you to select, what am I doing? Selecting 2 faces, and then activate the poly bridge, and it says now select the destination for the bridge. You can see here, and now you select those 2 edges and you press enter, and now it does the poly bridge. It should work both ways. Let's put it like that. So now you have that beautiful hole. Let's just lower the divisions to maybe 1, 2. 2 is good. Again, this I'm using it very poorly here, or I'm using it how I need it here, but it has a lot of settings, like making it curve inside, making pretty weird stuff inside. It's you can where's the you can twist it, you can make curves inside of this. It's really advanced bridging So for now, I'm just gonna go with straight and 2 divisions. So there you go. That's a hole. It's it's very simple. It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not anything. So poly bevel to create some edges there, really quick, and that will hold my hole. And I actually need another edge here, so I actually screwed up that edge. But let me try to delete this edge and maybe make a bevel. Let's see if I deleted that edge all the way. Yes. And I can select it. All right. Use the poly bevel trick again. There we go. That's pretty cool. And I don't want to chamfer this. Just make it solid. Just to hold my subdivision there. And if I subdivide this now, that was quick now, eh? So if I complain more, it works quicker. So let me just turn this to smooth. Let me remove that shader or remove the transparency. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's something wrong there. Cool. All right, we can fix that. I'm not sure what's happening here. Maybe it's just the subdivision. No, it is. Some edges are crossing here. 2 edges are moved weirdly here. Really weird thing happened here. Yep, those edges are in the wrong side of heaven. Maybe this happened with the bevel? I'm not sure. Alright, I will have to fix this. Seems like it's fixed now. There we go. There's some weird triangle edges here. They are now gone. Alright. Yeah, this is weird. I have an extra edge here that I don't need. Maybe I selected something weird when I apply that bevel. Alright, so but you can see we saw a lot of different modeling tricks here, modeling tools that you use in any application all the time, like bridge, making circles, sliding on the surface, extruding, of course, beveling, adding references. And I will have to investigate that transforming pivots topic there. But in a really quick way, I have to merge this with the other guys. See this? I have all this big column of stuff. I'm just gonna select that, press this icon here to look, make it all one node, and that it's all contained here. It's kind of like freezing in Maya. It's not, but it's kind of like that. And let's see. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it in subdivision mode. But there we go. We have the solid base of the guitar done in a few minutes. Took maybe like an hour to get there, and me talking, explaining stuff, getting things wrong, being an asshole sometimes. But yeah, you can see I have one hole. We can just do the other holes pretty quickly with that technique. Of course, the hole is really huge. That should just make that hole smaller. And another thing here that I forgot to show you is actually, if I select that middle edge, I can press Shift G to grow the selection. You can also convert the selection, convert it to faces, to primitives. Houdini calls faces primitives. You can grow the selection, shrink the selection. So that's pretty useful. And you can see I switch to edges, and my edges are there. So if I select something, my edges are there, my points are selected. If I go to faces, my faces will be selected So it keeps the selection, saves the selection for the different tools. So just grow this again, shift 3, what was it, convert to primitives, shift 4, and grow it first, shift 4. It's not working. Oh, it's control. Control shift 4. That's a mouthful. And grow it, and let's scale it a little bit because it is too big, but just scale it in this axis. Also, maybe we can do the slide on surface. No, that would make a mess. Align it to viewport. There we go. That's aligned to the selection. Let's just make it smaller. There we go. That's a smaller hole. More fit for tuning peg. There we go. Alright guys, so you have any questions? Go ahead, do it now. If you don't, well, I guess that's gonna be it. There's a lot of information here. The video will be recorded and posted in YouTube as soon as YouTube does it. I don't have to do anything. That's great. My job is done. My job is done. Alright guys, a few minutes for questions. Any questions? Any questions? Go ahead and ask. If you don't ask any questions, I'm gonna just go to Facebook or do something else in my time. No questions then, eh? No? Alright guys, so no questions, alright? So that must mean that I'm so good at explaining everything, which might be the right thing, or that you're just a little bit shy, or that nobody's watching this. Alright. Alright, no questions. If you have any questions after this, please go to mixtraining.com or mixtrn.com. I always get that wrong. mixtrn.com. There's a forum there. There's a specific section for questions. You can go there, ask your questions, and I will respond to your questions. I will respond with the questions to your question, and we can all learn together there. All right, guys, thank you for watching this. And if it's useful, please let us know. And my dog is here to say that this webinar is done. See you guys later. Stop.